I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 107. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino. This is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
What's going on? I have a guest this weekend. My cousin is in town, which is awesome. So I haven't seen him in ages. It's been over like 20 years since we last saw each other.
Whoa, 20 years. Listen,
Yeah.
so you mean to tell me the last time you saw your cousin, like Bill Clinton was still in office? Everyone was still
I don't
playing.
even think Bill Clinton was in office yet.
No, Bill Clinton was in office.
Not in the 80s. Not in the 80s.
You said 20. You said 20 years ago.
Over 20 years ago. Over 20
over 20 years.
Over
Wow.
20 years. It's been a little bit. So
Okay,
it's great.
all right.
It's
So
great.
let's bring it full circle back to related to video games. What console was out? What was the hotness, monotonous? What was the Nintendo
The hotness,
Switch?
monotonous. The Atari was dead.
No
almost
way.
in the game industry, and the Nintendo was the new hotness. That was the new hotness. Yes, the Nintendo.
The NES.
Yes. It was that. It was the
Wow.
third generation of video games.
Wow.
That's how far back it goes.
Are you guys even related? You haven't seen this? You haven't
Time
seen
doesn't
this guy?
kill relation.
I mean,
not how
really?
that works.
You should- Now that we got this hot popular new show, this new podcast, all family members just coming out the woodwork.
Yeah. No, not at all. I mean, like basically he said he was going to be in town, and I'm like, "What? You need to come stay with me because I got an extra bed and I haven't seen you in ages." So he's like, "Sure," So he came by and he was up.
But I
there.
mean,
He was up-
the whole reason why he came up here is he's a comedian, right?
Yeah. He was doing some comedy in town, and he's coming up to New York and whatnot. So I went out to see him on Friday, which was awesome. I had a little show up in Queens and whatnot. It was cool, I saw some family up on stage doing some comedy, and, he killed it. It was a nice little showcase. And, it's funny because he's got, he's actually really good at Donkey Kong. I found this out recently. Like he's got Donkey Kong skills that puts him on the board. Like he's in like, he hovers around like the 200th or whatever of the best Donkey Kong players of all time, right?
I mean, I hate to say this, but in this day and age, is he playing on a modded arcade machine?
Oh, it's very funny. That's very funny. Well, yeah. I mean, we talked about the Billy Mitchell controversy, right? He was playing on MAME hardware or like whatever it was. It's still a feat, but the game is different. But yeah, no. He rocked a little session out in Barcade. One of the days he was here, and had like a really good run at the score. And I asked him about the big board over there because Barcade out in both of them I think do, but the one out in Williamsburg I know has like a high score tally for all of the games they have there, right? And whoever hits the top score, they go up and they write it in chalk, and then they're the new winner. And he's like, yeah. The guy who's up there, I think, is the number 2. Either the number 2 or the number 1 top record holder right now. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. He killed it at Barcade. The guy who got that score on that Donkey Kong machine there.
All
It's
right.
very interesting, and like he knows all the details about it too. Like I thought I kind of knew Donkey Kong, like how like some of the patterns go and the way the levels go, but he was telling me all this intricate shit. Like I was like super impressed. I was like, okay. So,
All right. Nice.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah. So that was
All right.
that was kind of like my weekend. I was kind of playing host, and we were just catching up and hanging out, and took him around the city a little bit, and we were just having a good time. So I sadly, well, we can get into it during the pickup session, but I'm pretty light, pretty light on the pickups this week. I'll say that.
Well, don't worry. I picked up a bunch of stuff. I can take it for both of us this week.
You did. I'm looking at.
I had a lot.
I'm
of
looking at
pickups
your
this
list here, and it looks like you wrote chapter 1 of a novel.
I know.
There's a lot.
But put it this way, where you are light on the pickups this week. However, this marks the 1-year anniversary. You got the Wii U kiosk.
That's right. Thank you for bringing it up again. I was just on Facebook a little bit before, and it was like, how they like pull up a memory from like however long ago, and is like, do you remember this photo from 1 year ago? And I'm like, hell yeah, I do, because in the office where we record, there's the Wii U kiosk. And I was like, yes, I remember that day. I went over to the GameStop.
You gotta post a picture and put it on Instagram and Vero.
That's right. I will. I'll do that.
1 year
but
anniversary.
It was just 1 year ago today. And you know what? You know what's actually funny? The reason I was over in my old neighborhood, over in like Flatbush, Brooklyn, was I went down to pick up the Penny Arcade tickets for 2017 because I got them delivered to my wrong address. So I went over there and I said, you know what? Let me go down to the Bulletproof Games, which is an awesome little video game, comic, card game, skateboard shop. Really cool. The guy's got 2 locations in Brooklyn. Got awesome stuff in there. But I went down there to check out some of the retro stuff he has, and then the GameStop is right there. So I went in the GameStop and I saw the mostly disassembled Wii U console, and I'm like, what are you guys doing with that? And they're like, you want it? You can have it. And I was like, hell yes.
I thought you got it at GameStop. I don't know why.
I did. I said that. Yeah. GameStop. What did I say?
No, you said there was a little game shop.
Oh, I went there first just to check stuff out, and then went around to the GameStop.
Oh, okay.
So
gotcha.
I went over to my neighborhood to get the tickets. I went to the Bulletproof place because I was in the neighborhood, and then I went to GameStop because it was literally like right next door to the Bulletproof Games. So it was a serendipitous day. I'll say that.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dave. Mm-hmm. As we always try to start the show in epic detail, what have you been playing?
Oh, thank you for asking. I am playing the mediocrely reviewed, if that's a word, Secret of Mana for PS4. Because
still,
what do you mean still? It's an RPG.
Oh, you've been playing it last week, and you weren't sold on it so much. I thought you had given up on it by now.
No. I'm about it. Like there are some things that are a little kind of about it, but I'm gonna see this game to completion for sure. I think it's solid. And
did you beat the original game on SNES?
Actually, I don't think I did.
Now I understand why you want to play this game until the finish.
Well, I mean that too. Yeah, I mean I got pretty far in the game. I'll say that. I don't think I've ever beaten it, honestly. So gives me some impetus to do that, and they'll probably have a crazy awesome ending, because it's all redone, right? So, Well,
I mean, you don't mind the weird smiley faces with the dialogue with the lips not moving.
I kind of enjoy it actually, because think about it, and I mentioned it last week. The lip syncing is going to be matched up to the Japanese lines, which will never match the English lines. So
yeah, but I mean that's fine. It's like watching one of those old, Japanese like kung fu movies. All right,
there's some sort of charm to it.
Yeah. Well,
I hear you. I disagree, but
there's a great little charm to it. I thought that, I don't know, the lips have to move. I'm sorry.
Well,
I mean, even if it's just moving, right? Like it doesn't have to actually be like the actual
Right. Just
you don't have to
a
actually
little bit of
look
something
for the
yeah.
word. Just
A little bit of
move a
something.
little bit. Just move so I know you're talking.
All right, look, I'll say I'm probably an outsider on that, but hell, it doesn't bother me, so it does, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
But
What
yeah,
else?
but that and just Mario and Rabbids on the go, because you need a game to play in the subway. So
That's
that's
you.
pretty
That's
solid.
Dave.
So
I just can't play on the subway, man. I tell you, like
that
I want to
sucks,
go. I
man.
just want to close my eyes and
That
relax.
sucks.
I
Sure,
just can't.
sure. I definitely used to be that guy. I used to be the guy who would sleep all the time. I guess I'm getting enough sleep at night. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
All right. So I've
I
been
wanna-
playing a
yeah.
lot of games.
Yeah, please, because I've been playing a couple of games. I've had a guest in town, so we've been kind of we ended up like busting out the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo because he was talking about Donkey Kong. He's like, let me show you the NES Classic. Let me show you the SNES Classic, and he's like, I gotta get one of these. So, no, we've been doing that.
I know, but like usually I've been really busy. Wasn't playing a lot of games. But lately I've had a little bit of free time.
Yep.
I've been playing a lot of games. I know last week I was playing an indie game on a Switch that I bought while I was somewhat intoxicated. I did say that on today's show I would do like indie game spotlight. However, I put back in Mario Odyssey and I put in a couple other Switch games that sort of needed to download some updates, right? So while those updates were downloading, I played other games. I didn't want to touch the Switch. I wanted to just let all my updates go. Let the Switch update. So I promise I will play it this week and talk about it next week on the show.
Sure.
Sure. But I finally beat X-Men Origins Wolverine on Xbox 360.
Clap, clap, clap. Very nice. Very nice.
Finally, I was
Feels
determined
good,
to beat
right?
that game. I really like that game, hack and slash.
Good.
A game that you play while you listen to a podcast, Rated G for Gamers podcast, by the way.
That's right.
I gotta say, I really like the game. It's better than the movie. I give you that.
Not a high bar to jump over, but sure.
Definitely better than the movie.
Okay.
I got back into Sonic 3. I actually bought Sonic 3 on an Xbox 360. After I beat Wolverine, I wanted to play something else, and I knew I definitely wanted to play Sonic 3. Didn't feel like brushing off the Genesis, so I purchased Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles on
That's
Xbox
right,
360.
yeah.
So after I beat Sonic 3, I'm going to beat Sonic and Knuckles.
Is that that's a separate download, Sonic and Knuckles?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. Because
It's a separate game.
I didn't actually even think about this. It's they're kind of the same. It's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That's what it is. They sold it
It's a
as
separate game.
They
It's a
sold it
separate
as
game.
It was
It was
meant
supposed to be one
game.
big game, yes,
Right?
but essentially it's two games. It's two IPs.
I mean, I understand. Yes, you are not wrong, but it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. They all go together.
Yeah, it's just. They do go together, but it's just.
I mean, okay. Let me ask it to you this way: would you rather pay $7.99 per game, or would you rather pay $7.99 for Sonic 3 and Knuckles?
I wouldn't do either. I paid $2.99 for the game for both games. So for $7, I got both games anyway.
No, still.
So I've been playing that.
Mhm.
You're not going to believe this, but I actually really got into Bugs on a Sega Saturn. Bugs 1.
Oh, I remember. Wait, Bugs or Bug?
I think it's Bugs. I think it's plural, Bugs.
Yeah. Okay.
There was 1 and 2, which I have both for the Sega
right,
Saturn.
Right. I vaguely remember that game. Is it good?
No, it's
Oh.
on a Dave scale. It's trash.
Okay. Understood.
But I was determined to at least beat the first couple of levels, which I did.
Hey.
I could see myself being very frustrated with this game as a kid.
So you're saying this game would bug you?
It would bug the hell out of me.
You would be antagonized by the difficulty?
I would be antagonized by sort of the hit detection on the game.
Okay. That's all I got for bug puns, so.
Okay. So ARMS is actually one of the games that had to update because I haven't plugged ARMS in since honestly maybe a month after it came out. So all the new characters, whatever free DLC that came out, I had to let update. So I beat ARMS again with a different character. I really like that game. I gotta say, I'm really like ARMS is really taking a I've taken a liking to ARMS. I like it better than you, I think. And when we get into the news, there's going to be a specific fighting game that's rumored to come out for the Switch, and I'm going to tie it in with ARMS, but we'll get into that later.
Okay. I'm interested to hear.
Again, Mario Odyssey, had to let that update as well. Played a little bit of the balloon challenge with Luigi. You have 30 seconds to hide your balloon and find somebody else's balloon. I gotta say, it's okay. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's not going to make anybody want to buy the game.
Right.
It's just there in each world where you find Luigi. Hey, and he calls you bro. Yo, bro. Hey, bro.
Oh, that's
hey,
fantastic.
Bro. Yo, bro. So it's nothing groundbreaking. I found like 2 balloons that I've hid like 4.
Right. What do you get for completing the balloon challenge? Is there anything good?
I think you get like coins. I was just testing it out. I didn't really get into it that much.
I do really like the fact, and we ended up posting the graphic up about it, that the organization of Luigi's balloons, coupled with Luigi's hat and outfit, which is green, it matches the configuration of a Famicom controller.
Yes,
which is so.
I'm sure they did that strategic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course they did. It's such a nice little detail.
So I didn't know if I told you this, that I've always had a Super Game Boy.
Yep.
I actually tested it out recently and found out that my Super Game Boy does not work. We collect a lot of games, we buy a lot of games, don't get a chance to test all of them and play all of them. That
is the truth.
When you get in the mood to actually play it, it's very disappointing when it doesn't work. So I don't know why it doesn't work. I've cleaned it. It doesn't work at all. So
I was gonna say there's probably some corrosion on the pins, but
probably
maybe it's more than that. Yeah.
So I went out on eBay, and if you probably see it in the pictures, I picked up for a good price the Super Game Boy for America, and Super Game Boy for the Famicom. For both of them for a good price. So I got sort of worked out in the end for me. So I had to test it out, and it worked perfect. And I got to say, I've been playing Super Mario Land, Kid Icarus, Donkey Kong Land, and those games are phenomenal. And I never had this as a kid, so I never got a chance to change the color palette or anything. I've always played it in the sort of green and white background on a Game Boy.
Right, the puke palette, I like to refer to it as.
Yeah, so I sort of had fun changing the color schemes and playing. I got pretty far in Super Mario Land, and then just sort of lost. I definitely want to get back into that game and beat it. So been playing that, but since I dusted off the SNES, I started playing some other games. I beat Double Dragon 5, which was the fighting game, which is rarely called Double Dragon 5. It was a totally different game.
Well, yeah, and then also Super Double Dragon, which was Double Dragon 4, didn't have the 4 after it. And now most recently they released Double Dragon 4. So, I don't know how that all worked out, but
I know that's a little weird.
Yeah, it literally should have been Double Dragon 6.
Yes. And then also I've been playing Turtles Tournament Fighters on the SNES. Sort of a weird game, weird dialogue. When you win and your opponent's like laying on the ground, and April O'Neil is interviewing you, and you're just like, I'm the greatest in the world. You can't beat me. It's just weird because that's not what Ninja Turtles say when they win. The dialogue is just the same for everyone, no matter who it is. Apparently,
it's not just like a cowabunga or like eat more pizza.
Yeah, I'm like Leonardo wouldn't say, I train hard, I'm the best in the world, and you can't beat me. Like that doesn't sound like anything that a Ninja Turtle would say. But okay, whatever. And lastly, and strangely enough, I've been playing a lot of Michael Jordan's Chaos in the Windy City.
Oh, sleeper game. Sleeper. That is ridiculous.
It's weird. It's
Mhm.
really weird. You know, some entity has captured a lot of basketball players, and Michael Jordan, throws balls. That's his weapon. All right.
Yeah. It's let's just be clear. This is not a basketball game.
It is not a basketball game.
It is an action game.
It is a platformer.
Right?
It's sort of action platformer.
Yeah, like he gets these elemental balls, these elemental basketballs to use as weapons to save captured basketball players. That's just wild to me. I don't understand it.
You really have to be precise with your jumps.
Sure.
Which is weird. It's super weird. It really is. Like I try to make a jump, but like Michael Jordan's so like fast, I jump and then he just like slides off the platform. So
I mean, he's not called the greatest for nothing.
he's so great. He can't stop when he jumps. So I was really getting into that game before I had to go. Because I had to do some game hunting.
Yeah.
So I really, I kept the Super Nintendo out, plugged up to my, again, new addition to the family, my 32-inch old school Panasonic tube TV. I would make J-Bam from One Up really proud. I saved it from the trash. My aunt was going to throw it out, and I said, no, I'll take that thing. By the way, as a side note, and this is for you, Dave, too. If you go to Goodwill or something, if you see a Panasonic controller, TV remote control, I should say, I need it because the volume buttons are pushed in on the TV, so I can't control the volume. I can't plug in the audio plugs because the volume is just maxed out.
Right.
I need to turn it down. So just as a side note,
I'll be on the lookout.
So that's what I've been playing. I got a lot of pickups. I'm not gonna lie. I did enough pickups for the both of us this week. I'm not gonna get into everything. I'll get into a few things. I finally got Rob the Robot back in the family. I had one as a kid. Don't know what happened to it. Always wanted to get it back. Can never find it for a good price. The one I have is a little yellow. It's half yellow, but still in good condition. I'm happy to have that back in the collection. I'm just missing sort of like some of the accessories, but I have most of them.
Right. Do you have the little colored discs?
I do not. That's actually what I'm missing.
Right. Those are the hard things to get. They always keep flying off, and you never know where
I found them online, but they're like $35 a piece.
Ooh, a piece, and there's like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People just like, hey, if you want one, it's $35.
Yeah.
Crazy.
For a hunk of plastic that probably cost Nintendo like 10 cents to manufacture.
At the time.
Yeah. That's wild.
So actually another game I got, Anthony, I guess Anthony's really mad at me because I've been late to the party. Ultimate NES Remix for the 3DS.
Yeah, man.
Have not played that game. I got the select version.
Right.
So, like the greatest hits version.
Right.
So I got that. I picked that up. Sly Cooper collection for Vita. Had to get a Vita game. Keep that, still trying to bolster my Vita collection. I have like 50 or 60 Vita games so far.
You have all of them. You have all of them.
I think there's more than that, especially with a limited run putting out a lot.
Oh, sure. Oh, well, you're right. Yeah. 50 or 60 limited run games, let alone the original ones. Sure.
So I got that. I picked up. Well, actually, I have Sly Cooper 4 for the Vita, but I picked up Sly Cooper 4 for the PS4.
Wait,
I already told you. I already told you about the Super Game Boy for the NES, the SNES, and the Super Famicom.
I thought there was only 3 Sly Cooper games.
No, there's 4 Sly Cooper games.
Oh, well, all right, I'm behind the times.
Yeah, it was Sly Cooper 1 and 2 for the PS2, and 3. No, it was 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, it was the trilogy.
For the PS2. And then they had the Sly Cooper collection for the PS3, and then they had Sly Cooper 4. It wasn't titled 4, though.
Yeah, but it was a new Sly Cooper. Huh.
Yeah, but that came out for the Vita and the PS3.
Right. Oh,
So
neat.
now I have all the Sly Cooper games. I picked up Muppet Adventure Chaos at the Carnival for the NES.
That chestnut.
Well, you want to know what Chestnut House forgot? I got a game that I actually liked as a kid. I don't know why. I was a weird kid. Trust me. I had braces and curly hair. Bigfoot for the NES.
Oh yeah.
Pick that up. And sticking with the retro, games, Streets of Rage 3 for the Genesis.
Oh my god. That game is bananas.
I got that loose.
That game is bananas. Yeah, you can play as a kangaroo.
Really? Wait. Rewind. You can play as a kangaroo?
Yeah. There's a hidden kangaroo character. I kid you not.
I did not know that. You know what? Yeah. I never even knew there was a Streets of Rage 3. I knew about 1 and 2 because I had those. Yeah. And I have 1 complete in box, 2 I have loose, and now I have 3. I have that loose as well.
Yeah, man.
Star Wars Dark Forces for the PS1.
Classic. Better on the PC. I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just saying.
Everything's better on the PC.
First person shooters, especially
games that work. Better on PC.
Yeah.
I have a story. So I love Lukey games. You know how much I love Lukey games that I plugged them. And look,
Lukey games.
If you're into buying retro games, go to LukeyGames.com. Okay, because they are awesome. They give you points for every game that you buy, so you can use those points. You can redeem those points for free games.
This is not a sponsored post, by the way. Just wanna note that we just love Lukey.
So I spent the money one drunken night, and I got Zelda Wind Waker / Ocarina of Time / Master Quest for the GameCube. All right. Now I already have Ocarina of Time for the 64, and I have Wind Waker for the GameCube. But I already have the Ocarina of Time Master Quest for the GameCube. But I wanted to complete the set of Zelda games for GameCube. And I bought that, but they kept sending me the Ocarina of Time Master Quest for GameCube, not the Wind Waker version.
Right.
And I had to send it back twice. No, I sent it back once, and they sent it to me again. And I guess it was like something funky in their system.
Right.
So they pretty much told me to keep what I had, Ocarina of Time Master Quest for GameCube, and they refunded me the money for the Wind Waker edition, which was like $100. I sort of lucked up because I found it on eBay $20 cheaper. So I finally put that to rest. I finally got that in the collection.
Oh, good deal.
So I got that in collection. Well, let me rewind. I am now 1 game short of the full Zelda collection for the GameCube because there was a Zelda and Metroid.
The combo, right? Yeah, Metroid Prime and Wind Waker, right?
Yeah, and that's like $100 and something. So one day, maybe one day, if I find it for a good price. A game I thought I had this game. Honestly, I had to triple check. Game & Wario for the Wii U. Didn't have that game. I thought I did. I thought I ordered that game, but I guess I didn't.
Sure, you had the Smooth Moves. Is probably the one you were thinking of, right?
Yeah, I have the Smooth Moves, the one for the Wii. I went a little crazy taxi. I went a little crazy for Crazy Taxi. I already had Crazy Taxi 1. So I bought Crazy Taxi for GameCube. I bought Crazy Taxi 2 for Dreamcast, and I bought Crazy Taxi 3 for the Xbox. Went a little crazy for Crazy Taxi.
There you go. That's your jam, though. Like you want to get the whole collection of whatever like mini set there is out there. So that's like that's definitely super commendable. Yes. Yeah, it's definitely super commendable.
I got a game that I think is one of the great games of last year, and I even nominated for Game of the Year, which is What Remains of Edith Finch. 8-bit games released a physical version of that. Dave, you have to play that game. I
do. Are you gonna let me borrow your copy?
Listen, I'll give you a gift card. You can buy it.
What are you afraid I'm gonna?
It's probably cheaper if you just buy it.
Are you afraid I'm gonna? No, it wouldn't. It would be free because I'm borrowing it.
Well, if you break it, you would have to buy it. You have to buy me.
Why would I break it? Do you not trust me? Get out of here.
I will say I don't let people borrow stuff. anymore.
Okay. Well,
I will say I don't even let my best
Okay.
friend, who I trust immensely.
okay.
Only because I've been burnt so many times with games and DVDs. I let my cousin, he's family, he's blood. I let him borrow Dragon Ball Z, the Broly movie,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he came back with a crack in it. I had to
Well,
throw it out.
I would never do that. Or if I did, I would buy you a new one because that's what you do.
I know. I've been burnt so many times. I'm just like super cautious, where I just say no to everyone.
I understand.
Maybe I'll let you borrow it. Yeah, that's fine. I haven't really thought about letting people. No one's ever asked. I'll be honest. So,
Oh, well, there you go. I'm breaking new ground, folks.
You've definitely earned the trust. So yeah.
Oh, I would hope so. And trust me, you the same. You the same.
And then I brought Dave's favorite game of the OG Xbox.
Oh, Fable? Did you buy Fable?
I brought Juiced 1.
Oh, you bought the original. Of course you did, because you now have the complete Juiced anthology, Juiced 1 and Juiced 2. Boom.
No. Listen, I got Juiced the movie. I got Juiced in the refrigerator. I got Juiced 1. I got Juiced 2.
Uh-huh. I got no pulp juice. I got extra pulp juice. Sure.
I got all juice. All juice all the time.
Oh my god. That's funny.
So that's pretty much what I picked up this week. All right, let's get into our new segment of 2018. Games that are coming out next month. Still a working title. We still haven't figured out what it was, like, fancy catchphrase we want to a fancy moniker we want to give it. But let's get into the games that are coming out in March, since we're at the end of February now. Mm-hmm. So we got Bravo Team, a game coming out for the PSVR, coming out March 6th.
Mm-hmm. Solid.
Let's see how this is a first-person shooter. Let's see how this goes in VR. Hopefully it doesn't make anybody sick. I'm actually psyched for this game. This is sort of like I think this is sort of like a test for PSVR. This year it's going to be a test for PSVR or VR in general, to be honest. Listen, even Sony said there's like over 100 games coming up for PSVR.
Yeah,
that aren't
like
just
over
experiences.
Yeah.
So, and this is going to be one of those games. Bravo Team. And I got to be honest, I know I'm people call me the PlayStation lover and all that, and I do love PlayStation.
It's true. You do love your PlayStation.
And full disclosure, my PlayStation VR has been collecting dust. I've been meaning, sort of like the impatient. I've been meaning to play that game and meaning to go back to the other first-person shooter game that came with the light gun. I forgot what the name was off the top of my head. I just haven't felt the urge to go jump in. It's just, the cables. The cables are a pain in the ass. I gotta be honest.
I understand, but you know what you need to do? You do need to get Star Trek Bridge Crew so we can play online, because I don't even like Star Trek, and this game is fantastic.
Really?
It's really good. Yeah. Like there's 4 different command posts you can like play as. You can be the engineer guy. You can be the captain, and two other positions. And like it's great. You have the big screen on there, and you have you have the directive or mission. Sometimes there's there's a derelict ship out there you got to bring back. People are stranded on a whatever. There's some enemy fighter ships coming in, and it's just it's really cool. It's really cool. It's just like the TV show.
And now you can, not, they have support now, just if you don't want to play it with a PSVR headset, you can play it.
Yeah, you can just do it straight up, which I'm sure is okay, but you really want to have the headset on,
I would love that. We would need is it a crew, like a crew of 4, right?
You can do up to 4. Yeah. You can do up to 4.
I just don't want to be like, playing with like you and like 3 bots, and the bots screw up and be pissed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can take control of any of the other open positions if you want, which is like neat. Or if you're the captain, you can just issue commands to the different people, and they'll just do those commands for you, whatever you need to have happen. So,
Gotcha.
It's not as elegant, but it still works. It still works.
All right. Gotcha. All right. So Bravo Team. This is a litmus test for PSVR and VR in general this year.
Mhm.
Bravo Team, I think, is sort of that game that's gonna sort of be the measuring stick for first-person shooters. Next, also coming out March 6th, Final Fantasy 15, the Royal Edition.
Right.
Definitely
right.
PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yeah, this is basically the complete edition. I think it's the first time it's on PC now, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah. So this is the maiden voyage on PC. It's got it's basically the definitive Game of the Year edition or whatever it is. It's gonna have all the DLC content in there. There's some extra stuff in there too, which is kind of neat. Definitely worth picking up. I may actually get this for the PS4.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's a special edition. Why not? I mean, I have the original for PS4, so if I'm gonna get this remastered one, I might as well get it on the PS4 too. Can almost work with my current save.
All right, that's true. So also March 6th, March 13th, come out Devil May Cry HD collection. Crickets for this game, huh?
HD collection. No crickets. I was just kind of, this is
I thought you'd be more excited for this game.
Devil May Cry is awesome.
I thought you were a DMC. I thought you were a DMC fan.
I am a DMC fan. I'm a fan of all this stuff, but I'm also a little bit burnt out, because they make all these HD remasters, these whatever, like they just did BioShock and now they're doing Devil May Cry again, like.
Well, this is the year of remaster. Everyone's saying this is the year of remaster.
It's always the year of remaster. It's always the day of remasters. They remaster
this is
everything.
the year of years of remaster.
Because here's the thing, like when they did Crash Bandicoot, I don't like Crash Bandicoot, but there was a hell of a lot of time for when Crash came out. It was like the 20th anniversary or whatever it was, right? And that was great. It was a big jump, and it was awesome, and you could play all the games on current hardware, right? They're doing like remasters for games that are on like PS3 that you can still play now very easily, games you can play on the 360, because games you can probably play on the Xbox One because of the backwards compatibility that, are getting remastered, and it's good and I'm going to buy them, but, because it's awesome, but also like cool it a little bit, let's get some new IP out there.
Well, okay. Well, it's in fairness, and we weren't. This wasn't. I mean, we're going way off topic for the segment,
right?
But
right.
Then devs got a Nintendo Switch late, right? I mean, Bandai Namco had this big event, pretty much to tell their investors, "Hey, we screwed the pooch when it comes to the Switch, but we're working on Switch games now, right? We're putting $500 million into or $100 million into a new." New positions or new key team to come up with new IP, right?
Yeah,
so,
and I'm all about that.
And then Xbox, Microsoft, right? Like they've been rumored that they're putting in a lot of money into building new IP for the future. So this is the year of years when it comes to remasters, just like the King of Kings, the year of years for remasters.
Okay.
So that's that bridge between. Hey, here's these all the games you love now, upscaled to 4K HDR to play 2018, because in 2019 we're going to start with the new IP games. Right.
Well, so, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for some big announcements at E3.
Okay. Well, let's start with listen. Next game, March 16th. The next big Switch game, Kirby Star Allies.
There you go, brand new. Beautiful. I'm on board. I'm jumping on that ship.
Brand new game. And I think this is the first time that Kirby's coming out in the beginning of the life cycle, not to kill the end.
Oh yeah, that's
kill the console.
Kirby's like the cover of Madden, right? It's the curse of the system.
It is.
Kirby game comes out and then the system goes down.
If anything, this game should have been coming out on the Wii U.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Just to put that nail in the coffin.
That no one would buy.
Right. Just to put the nail in the coffin.
Well, in fairness, we did get a new Kirby game for the 3DS, and everybody, by all accounts, this may be the last year for the 3DS as far as getting new games. Right. Even though January said sales for the 3DS and 2DS were as high as the first year sales of the 3DS when it first came out.
Wow, still going that strong.
So
I mean,
that may extend the life cycle of the 3DS.
they have
to
a
be
great
honest.
library of games. Like if you're looking to get a handheld system for not a lot of money, you can get yourself like a 2DS for $100 or even maybe a little bit less now, and you get a library of fantastic games.
All right. Also, March 20th. I think this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time where this is a game, Attack on Titan 2.
Mm-hmm.
The game is coming out on same day, PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch.
You may be 100% correct. I would not doubt that fact. I think you're right. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy that's coming out on PC as well as Switch, and then also on the same day. Obviously the Switch version is going to be scaled back a little bit, but this is incredible. This is great.
Guess what system I'm buying it for?
PC, right? Is it PC?
No.
Oh, I could have swore it was going to be PC.
No. So
Well, you get that
all
on
right,
Switch,
next,
then, yeah, of course. Okay,
next game. This is Microsoft's big new IP,
Mm-hmm.
Sea of Thieves, coming out on
Yeah.
Xbox One and PC March 20th.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will say I will be getting this game only because, in large part, I want to get the controller, I want to get the controller stand, and I want to get the hard drive, all Sea of Thieves themed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be kind of awesome.
So,
Like, what is is it just like a nautical blue and whatnot with the logo on there?
well, that blue is like purple. It's like
Okay.
this sort of like sparkling purple with the Sea of Thieves. It's like like you got to look at it. It's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You just gotta look at it. And purple's not my favorite color, but I just like the way the design is.
Sure.
And they have the controller. They have the controller stand and that does charge the controller, and you have the control stand that doesn't charge the controller.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the one that charges it will be more money, and you can get the external hard drive. I think it's like a terabyte hard drive for the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I will get that and use that hard drive on the PlayStation.
That's funny.
I already have a hard drive for the Xbox One.
Yeah. Well, same, man.
4 terabyte hard drive on the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have A Way Out co-op game.
Yeah, this is the I mean, this guy we talked about him because he was at the Game Awards.
Very passionate speech at the Game Awards.
He
said, "Screw EA," but
yeah.
People make mistakes, and EA is the publisher of this game.
Yeah, and surprisingly, the game is still coming out on time. So there you go. I'm kind of hyped. I think actually,
Are you gonna buy it?
Hyped.
We should buy it and play it.
We are definitely gonna do that. We are definitely gonna do that.
So it's come out March 23rd, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. 3DS is not dead. Detective Pikachu is coming out March 23rd as well.
And the movie's coming out sometime. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but it's in the works with Ryan Reynolds. Which is
Deadpool as Pikachu. This is going to be weird.
It's insane. It's going to be great though. I'm going to go see it.
Also, we have Ni no Kuni 2. That's coming out PS4 and PC March 23rd. Not a big Ni no Kuni fan. Sort of an anime RPG. I do have the first one on PS2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or is it PS3?
I think it's PS3. Yeah, PS3, maybe even PS4.
No, I don't think it's. Well, maybe they had a HD remaster. I'm not a big.
There you
RPG
go.
fan,
Yeah, there you go.
as you know. So, but I know I have Ni no Kuni. It is Ni no Kuni on PS3. I do have it. It was one of my pickups. Also coming out, the big game, Far Cry 5, March 27th.
It's gonna be huge.
PS4,
game.
PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
I mean, it's coming out at the perfect time, right? America's in trouble. Everything's all topsy-turvy, and then there's this game that comes out where you play in the Pacific Northwest, and you go against these like crazy religious cult people in an open world Far Cry type setting. So I think it's gonna make the news. I think it's gonna be all over the place. I think it's gonna be great.
People, people are a little up in arms
I
over
know.
a religious cult setting in Montana.
Uh-huh.
Hits a little too close to home for people, for some
Oops.
people.
I mean, don't be so easily lampooned, I guess, You're the target. You're a very easy target to make a video game out of. And, I don't know.
So
I don't know.
I like it how they were making the game. They were doing research in Montana and not
Yeah.
telling anybody why.
That is hilarious. What are you guys doing here? Oh, we're just on vacation.
They were just on vacation. Montana, of all places.
Yeah, right.
We got
it's beautiful up
MLB
there.
The Show 18
Yeah.
PS4 coming out March 27th. And the last big game coming out in March is Agony for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It comes out March 30th.
Right. I've seen some playthroughs of this on YouTube. It is it's a
It's different. You're in hell.
Yeah.
You're in hell.
You're in hell. It's a run and gun shooter. It's just survival, first person style. But it's got that old like pixelated like Quake kind of vibe to it, right? Like late 90s kind of vibe with like it's got super high resolution, so everything looks super crisp. But then it's got that like chunky kind of like browns, earth tones, and reds to it. It's kind of cool. Like I'm definitely hyped for this game.
But all right, so let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get into the latest gaming news of the week.
And in our convo of the week, we're gonna talk all about the D.I.C.E Awards.
And we're back. All right, let's get into the latest news of last week. So the biggest rumor last week was Super Smash Brothers coming to the Switch this year. Now, I think when did Smash Brothers come out for the Wii U and 3DS? That came out like 2015, I want to say, right?
2014.
2014.
I
Really?
looked it up.
All right.
I looked it up.
So that would be 4 years, right? I don't think that's a long enough time for this to be an actual new game. And by all accounts, it looks like Nintendo was porting everything that was on the Wii U onto the Switch, right?
Because there's a ton of people who didn't get to play it because no one knew what the hell the Wii U was. Nor when they found out what it was, everyone already jumped ship. So
true, but I mean, it did sell a lot on the Wii U. I mean, the attach rate for the Wii U.
Oh yeah. Well, that was like the biggest game for it. Sure.
That and Mario
of the
Kart.
people who had it, everybody bought that for sure.
So I'm gonna say this is gonna be Super Smash Brothers DX version.
I would not disagree.
My biggest thing is I think this is gonna coincide with Nintendo Online. Now, Nintendo posted on their Twitter that Nintendo Online would be coming in September of 2018. I think at E3 we're gonna hear, the first game that launches the same day as Nintendo Online is going to be Super Smash Brothers DX. It's going to be all the characters and stages from the Wii U. It's going to be the Wii U version with all the characters and stages from the Wii U version, the 3DS version. And I think the new thing about this game, which is going to make everyone going to buy it, if you already have it for the Wii U, you're going to buy it again. You're going to get you're going to get a Super Mario Odyssey character with the hat, with Cappy, and that'll be a new mechanic for Mario. You're going to get a Super Mario Odyssey themed level. You're going to get a Zelda Breath of the Wild themed level. And you're going to get all the characters and stages from both games that came out in 2015.
Right.
And you're going to experience online play with 4 characters all at once. With, obviously lag really depends on how good, your servers and the internet connection that each person has.
Nintendo's got to step up. I mean, they really have to have a solid online network for this to work. I don't think anything you said is wrong. I think it's probably all going to be that. I would hope for a Smash 5 in this case. I wouldn't want a Smash 4 Redux. You're probably right.
Well,
I think you're most definitely right based on what they've done with the past games. But
here's the thing. I think like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think when the next Mario Kart comes out for the Super Smash, the Super Switch or whatever it's called, the next game console, I think they're going to call that Smash X, right? Because they're going to count 8 Deluxe as 9. I don't think it's going to be Smash 9. I don't think it's going to be Mario Kart 9.
4 Deluxe. Oh, you're talking about Mario Kart now.
Yeah. I'm thinking all the ports.
Right.
They're calling DX, but I think when we get the next version of like Mario Kart or Smash Brothers, it will be another number up. So,
of course,
you're looking for Smash 5. I think the Smash DX or Deluxe Edition will be Smash 5, and I think whatever new Smash Brothers we get in the future, 5 years from now or 6 years from now, I think will be Smash 6.
Oh, maybe. I guess we kind of have to see how big the new Smash Brothers game is going to be.
Oh, it's going to be big. It's going to be epic.
Yeah?
It's going to be epic. Because
if it's going to be that epic, it's got to have a 5 after it, I think. Like, you get into the territory of, now it's a new game.
No. I guarantee you they're going to say, Mario, you can play as regular Mario, you can play as 8-bit Mario, and you're going to play Super Mario Odyssey Mario, a new character, where you use the Cappy as a weapon. And you're going to have a Mario Odyssey stage. And it would be cool if you could use the Odyssey to jump from if there's like a story level to it, story level element to it. You can use Cappy to go. You can use the Odyssey to go to different levels. Right. I think that would be even awesome. Like maybe a Super Mario Odyssey storyline, right? Addition to it.
I can tell you're giving this a lot of thought.
Yes. It'll be Smash Rush or whatever they had. I mean, I really don't care about that in Brawl. I think the UI needs to be sort of changed too, because it was a little
revamped,
confusing.
Improved. Yeah. I agree.
You may not get all the characters just because of licensing purposes, but hopefully we can get all the characters like Bayonetta, Cloud, Ryu. So I think you're gonna get all the characters from Wii U, 3DS, all the stages, and some new stages and some new characters, and they're gonna call it Smash Deluxe.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to get Snake back, but that's probably not going to happen either.
No, but that was a Brawl game, right?
Yeah,
he was in Brawl. I don't think this is they're gonna promote it as a port of the old Smash game with some new elements.
Right.
So we got that. All right. Next, we already knew Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2 were coming out for Nintendo Switch.
Right.
We finally got a release date for it, but that it's coming out in spring. It's coming out in May. But the big issue that everyone's talking about is it's coming. Mega Man 1 is going to be downloadable, and Mega Man 2 is going to be on a cart. That's kind of weird, right? That doesn't make any sense, correct?
It's a little weird. I mean, I was like, what's the difference? What does it matter? You would figure that's what they did with Bayonetta, but then you brought up the good point that the Mega Man Collection 2, those games are later in the cycle, and they're considerably bigger than the NES ports, which are like a mega piece, if even.
Yeah, so you couldn't fit all of them on one cart, really? Like,
well,
that's kind of like,
also
Breath of the Wild is a big game, and it's in one cart.
I know. They could have easily fit 1 through 10 on a single cart.
Now I have one. I have Mega Man Collection Legacy 1 and 2, both for Xbox One. In full disclosure, I will be buying it for it's about $40 retail. I will be buying it on the Switch. I did not buy Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Switch. Thank you very much.
You're waiting for the price to go down. That's all.
I am waiting for the price to go down because I already beat Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Wii U. I know
there is no huge draw to go in and pay $60 again just to have it, And
it's $60. I have no incentive. They have nothing new other than skins. I don't need to beat the game in the Metroid skin. Like literally, there's no incentive.
I think didn't even the Wii U version have those skins too, or am I wrong with that?
I think you're wrong. I mean, I don't really play. Well, again, I don't even play games with the skins. I don't really care. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need to. I don't need to play as Bayonetta dressed up as Metroid
Right.
in a Samus suit. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
need that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really care. That takes away from the game for me personally. I want to play it the way the actual, developers intended you to play the game in the
Right.
skin that they created. So,
Mm-hmm.
there's, and honestly, on Nintendo, if Nintendo has sort of a trophies or an achievement or slash career system, that's not going to
Mm-hmm.
be added until we get Nintendo Online, which is in September, which is 6 months out after the game release. So hopefully the game will be a little bit cheaper back then and anyway. So, all right, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Our lead story, the ESA, the Entertainment Software Association,
Mm-hmm.
the people who are responsible for E3.
And the
Uh,
ESRB,
yeah,
that's
that's
all
true.
them.
So they've been in the news lately. Basically, people are trying to preserve like old online games, like multiplayer only games, sort of like the Division, Destiny type games.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to protect them like they protect like just regular single player games.
Right.
And they're getting some pushback from the ESA, who is sort of on the side of it's kind of hard to explain. Like they're trying to like protect the IP for the publisher from the developer, well, mostly the publisher who sort of like owns that IP,
Mm-hmm.
where sort of like museums, for example, are trying to preserve games. So this is sort of a fight for game preservation.
Right. Right. Which I think is, something we talked about either last episode or the episode before, just kind of we collect and you especially collect to kind of preserve these things so they don't go to waste and that you can kind of have them live on and give them to your kids if you inevitably have that or put them in a museum because they could very easily just kind of go away, right?
Yes. Well, there are a lot of games that you can't play anymore,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I mean, you talked about it. We talked about it before we start recording. Like Gears of War 1, you can't play that online anymore.
No. I
Multiplayer.
mean, the servers are down. Like, it costs a lot of money to maintain these, and companies. It's usually the company who has them. If not, like maybe like in Xbox's case, I think there's centralized servers, and you're playing
Yeah.
off of those. But they need to maintain all that, right? They need to keep those up and have space for those games. And once they become like unpopular or severely less popular, they kind of take them offline. And then like, what do you do?
Yeah. So they're trying to sort of protect them under the same provisions as just regular single player games. And they're getting some pushback. I don't understand this because sort of they're sort of saying, hey, if you pay $10 to get into the museum, you're sort of essentially paying $10 to play the game, which goes against everything that, the preservation aspect of it, because that money should be going to the developer. And I could say you can add whatever statute or whatever laws are being written, you could just write into that they can sort of still play these games even without paying to get into the museum. All right. Or
Yeah.
something along those lines. There's a way to get around that, as
Right.
far as if that developer wants to bring those games back online, bring those servers back online, and to make money, obviously for a cost, that they can do that, and it sort of wouldn't interfere with sort of the museum having their own servers to play this old version of World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I see both sides, but there has to be a way to preserve the game so people can play the game the way it was originally played without, I mean, again, if they take those servers offline in 5-10 years, we won't be able to play Destiny 1 the way we used to
Right.
play Destiny 1.
Right. It'll just be gone, there's no provisions in the game code for running your own servers and whatever else. Like they don't really take that into account. So, what do you do? But I think it's also fair to note that this one place that does do it, this place called Made, they also have the $10 admission and the fee and the whatever to play offline games, and the ESA isn't happy about that either. I mean, it's you have a company, You have space set aside to play video games. It's your right to whether you want to charge people for it or not. You know, you're a business. You can do that, right?
It gets a little gray area ish. I mean, look at regular museums, right? They are a donation by all accounts.
Right.
Certain museum. Well, in New York, museums are a donation. They have suggested prices, which are really high.
The Met specifically has. You can actually go to the Met for free, and you can pay a penny or whatever it is. Or you can
it's not free. You can pay $1. You know, it's a donation.
Sure. It's basically nothing. Or you can pay the $15 suggested fee to get
$35
or $35 or whatever it is. Yeah. I haven't been there in a while, as you can tell.
Yeah, but you can always say that is just upkeep of the building and nothing to do with people who play, because you could pay $10 to go in to see the artifacts, see the games, see the exhibits, and not play anything.
Right.
It's just an admission fee into the museum. I think I see both sides where someone wants, this is IP that this is their IP, they own it. However, you do want to preserve it because it's a part of history. I mean, video games, by all accounts, are art form, correct? Is interactive art.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I worked across the street, literally. We just moved offices, but I worked across, not even across the street, next door to sort of like the Museum of Television.
Right. Where
I can walk in and I've never been there. I've never been in there. So I don't know if I could see, any old TV shows, back from the 50s, 60s or whatever for free. I don't actually, think about it. I want to go there now because I have no idea how it's set up or laid out.
Right.
Did I just watch anything, or is it just exhibits of old TV shows?
I think there's that. I think there may be a way to kind of queue up old archives and whatnot. That may be like a separate thing that you have to pay for and do, but I'm pretty sure I heard about at least some museums allowing you to pull up archives, because I think they have. I think they have a ton of stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
I have no idea. That is something I want to look into, honestly. All right. Hopefully they'll get settled. I think they'll come to some type of agreement, because online games, there have to be a way to preserve them, or they're going to be lost forever, to be honest. All right. Let's stick with, people making laws on video games. Now we talked about it last week with Hawaii, sort of wanting to put sort of laws in place for loot boxes. Now Rhode Island is talking about taxing games, not just any games, but games that deem too violent, like games like Doom or any first-person shooter like Call of Duty.
Right. I'm gonna give this
anything that the ESRB rates as mature.
Right. I'm gonna give this a big nope. I'm gonna say this is not gonna go over well. This law is not gonna pass, and I mean, I really think it's gonna cause actual violence. Gamers are gonna revolt over this. They're not gonna stand for this. And it doesn't make any sense. They're trying to solve the gun violence problem incorrectly, because I mean, if there's a tax on violent video games, then why shouldn't there be a tax on violent movies or music with violent lyrics, or whatever. There are definitely other art forms that contribute to somebody and their personality and their whatever. Seeing a Rambo or a Guardians of the Galaxy movie is just as effective or affecting as playing Doom. I think, if we're going by if we're going by this logic, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Let me ask you a question. They're trying to do something to prevent school shootings. Right.
This is their end game. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they put a tax on violent games. So instead of paying $60 for this first-person shooter game, you pay what? What do you think? The $10 extra? $70.
I don't think you get more. I don't think you could do more than more than $70 because that's
All
more
right,
than
well,
10%.
Let's go on a high. Let's go on a high and say
That's more than
$70.
10%. 70.
All
Okay.
right. How is that stopping a person who is crazy from shooting? If anything, he's going to be pissed that he got to pay extra $10 on a game like this compared to something like Ni no Kuni.
Sure. I mean, it has an ESRB rating, right? The parents are the ones who are supposed to check what their kids are playing, right? My parents didn't play video games, but they more or less knew what I was playing, and if anything was inappropriate, they'd be like, you can't play that. They were definitely hip enough and wise enough to know, And I played Doom back in the day. I played Mortal Kombat. That didn't push me over the edge. It didn't do anything to me, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Like, you're right. Someone can still go in and pay $70 and get that game, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to stop them from buying the game or being crazy because they're innately crazy.
Right.
So
Right.
charging a tax on being crazy is not going to stop. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to piss them off even further.
Right,
So-
right. I mean, like if you want to make a real difference, maybe put some more funding into health services for your damn state, so that people who do have problems can get the therapy and the medicine they need to kind of even themselves out. And then maybe we won't have school shootings. That's just a crazy little thought of mine, But
And as a side note, how about we take away guns?
hey,
make it hard. We make it harder.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Make it harder to buy guns. How about that?
There you go, right? Maybe Australia has some good ideas. I don't know. But
Well, any other country that has strict, gun laws.
yeah.
Yeah. I
But
mean, there were only 13 deaths related to gun violence in Japan all of last year.
right.
So, and they have the strictest gun laws in the world, apparently.
It's crazy. But
It's crazy. That's
well-
crazy. You know what else is crazy?
Uh-huh.
Segue time. Metal Gear Survive.
Wait. Is Segway time crazy, or is the next news story crazy?
Both. They're both
Oh,
crazy. Everything's
all right,
crazy.
All right. It's off the charts.
Off the charts.
Immeasurable, the amount of crazy.
Yes. Metal Gear Survive.
Mm-hmm.
It's out. The first Metal Gear game without Kojima. Even though by all accounts people are saying he was okay with doing a Metal Gear Survive before he left. He had nothing to do, with the game's story or lack thereof.
Well,
But he was okay with doing a Metal Gear Survive. It was one of the suggestions before he left, and they were in talks. So this game was coming.
yes. I mean, you're right. Do you think you'd be okay with these crazy microtransactions? Because this is the story. I don't think Kojima would have let this stand.
Well, first and foremost, something that I think Kojima wouldn't let stand is there is a reason why we didn't do a review roundup for this game, because there aren't any reviews out yet. At least enough to do a review roundup, because everyone got review codes about a week ago or a week and a half ago. However, there was a day one patch they got a code for as well to so they can play the game online. And it didn't work. So they essentially had to wait until the game was released to start playing the game. And it's the way it was intended to.
Oh, it's beautiful. That couldn't have gone any other way. Couldn't have gone any other way. It serves him right for kicking out Kojima.
So, and not only that, that gives all the professional reviewers, they're all up in arms over that.
Of course.
But players are now up in arms, because if you want to create a new character in Metal Gear Survive, you have to pay an extra $10 per character.
Oh, it's dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb. Now I'm gonna go ahead and play devil's advocate for a second, right? So this is an online situation, right? Mostly, I think you said there's an offline component, right?
There was a single player component which they're sort of pushing, but this is mostly a multiplayer game.
It's mostly
which
multiplayer online. Okay.
Haven't really been pushing that narrative.
Right, which is interesting. So basically you log onto the server or whatever, you plop down a game world, Maybe it's 8 people, maybe it's 16, maybe it's 32. I don't know. And I guess you just have to survive the zombie invasion, right?
Yes.
Kind of a last man standing type situation. A little bit like PUBG with zombies, maybe. If I understand the game correctly. I'm probably never going to play.
It's fun.
I bet it is. I bet there's some meat on the bone. I am taking a stand. I am siding with Kojima. Hashtag Kojima. But it's okay. So like it's an online game, right? There's probably some persistence. So you probably level your character up and whatnot, and there's different stats and this and that, right? I don't necessarily see what the impetus is to have another character slot, you know? So maybe it doesn't really matter, you know? Unless there's like different character builds, right? You got a stealth guy, you got a guns guy, maybe that's it. You know, you got a traps guy or whatever it is, and you can have different builds, and it's kind of hard to go back and rebuild your character. So, you know, I don't know, but I will say this: if the game only had one character slot and no microtransaction, you know, they may bring it up in the reviews that like you can only really have one active character at a time, and then you have to delete them and make a new character if you want to roll a new build, right? And you know, they may get dinged a point, maybe 2 points for that, who knows? But nobody would be like, oh, they're just trying to milk money from us and whatnot, right? They'll just go, well, this is just how the game is, right? And maybe if they were smart, they would patch it later and put in extra character slots, you know? Maybe that would be a thing, and because they're going to get a lot of flack over this, right?
Well, listen, to be fair,
yeah.
Let's take Destiny as an example. You know, you have different characters in Destiny. You have like the Guardian, and you have sort of like the I'm not a big Destiny guy, so excuse me if I kill all the characters in Destiny, the Destiny characters.
Right.
But you sort of have like the guy that's all force, brute force, and you have a guy that like makes weapons, and you have a guy that's all about magic. You can have different characters that you level up yourself. Like you can level each character up by, you know, obviously putting in the work, putting in the grind on each character. So if you want to do that in Metal Gear Survive, you would have to pay an extra $20 to have 3 different characters.
Right.
Where in Destiny, it's all free.
Right. And I guess to that point too, like, how much extra does it cost them in storage space to have additional character slots available for your guy, right? You know, here's the thing, here's his character sheet, here's the items he has in his backpack, and, you know, that's it. Maybe like, you know, here's his 3D model, you know?
Well, sorry, not a Guardian, you're a bounty hunter, you're a warlock, and you're like tank. Again, I'm not a big Destiny guy, and I'm always a bounty hunter, by the way.
Yeah. There you go. Run and gun, baby. Run and gun till you die.
You damn Skippy. $10 seems a little excessive to make extra characters.
Agreed.
Let's see how much this game sells. All right. A game that we actually know is coming out in 2019 that people may or may not like. Well, a game that actually came out in the past that people like and been clamoring for a sequel, Max Payne. The Max Payne devs, well, we heard last year, and I think we talked about it last year, that they're sort of working on a new game, right? That's codename P7.
Right. Ominous.
It gets a release date in 2019, or a release window in 2019. And according to the financial statement, it's a third-person action game, and it won't be a sequel.
But so not Max Payne.
Well, it's not going to be a sequel to Alan Wake. It's not going to be a sequel to Quantum Break. So it's a brand new IP.
Interesting. I'm excited. This is a good candidate for E3, most definitely. We will hear more about it there. I can almost guarantee it.
The question is, where will we hear it? Will we hear it at Microsoft? I mean, Microsoft's Xbox event or Sony PlayStation event? I
mean, gun to my head. Microsoft, Xbox, the Xbox conference.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
It'll be a launch trailer exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, hell, it could be in the PC conference.
Trailer exclusive.
It could be in the PC. Hey, get out of here. All right, they had over 40 exclusive games. All right, on display at that conference last year. They killed it.
Really? You
End
like
of
Super
story.
Lucky Tales? It's
Yeah.
actually getting a sequel. Did you hear?
Yeah. See, there you go. It was a solid game that sold well.
I don't think it sold well. I think me and like 4 other kids bought it,
Hey, look! If they're making a sequel, it sold well enough.
which is weird that Super Lucky Tales is getting a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know,
It
but
was okay.
I'm not gonna play the sequel. I haven't played the original. Yeah.
You know your birthday gift now.
Damn it!
Super Lucky's Tale.
Damn it! It's gonna be the worst birthday gift ever. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate the thought.
You got to put
but,
at least 10 hours into it.
I have to put at least 10 hours. Get out of here. Jesus, 10 hours of my life I won't get back.
It's not that bad of a game. I guarantee if you would have played it
Okay.
on N64, because it reminds you of like sort of like a bad N64 game, you would have probably
Right.
loved it.
Maybe. The 5-year-old Dave Rotino may be about it, but the
5-year-old? I didn't
37-year-old
say it
Dave
was on
Rotino is
Atari.
not about it. Oh yeah, right.
All right. This is the year of the remasters. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I know we got some remasters last year. We got some DXs, deluxe versions, but
Mhm.
by all accounts, this is the year of the remaster.
Right.
All right.
I would argue every year is the year of the remaster, but
But it looks like we're getting, well, sort of. People have been clamoring for a new Burnout game.
Mhm.
The closest that we're getting is a remaster for Burnout.
yeah, which is weird because all the Burnout games are basically the same, just with better graphics. Right? The core of the game is still, race down the highway, drive
Fast
on the
as you
wrong
can.
side of the road. Yeah.
Well, we got it was going to be a remaster of Burnout Paradise,
Mm-hmm.
which some people have been wanting Burnout Revenge or Burnout 2.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest, I haven't played any of the Burnout games.
Really? Oh, you need to
Yep.
do yourself a favor and play Burnout. I am serious.
I have Burnout 1, I have Burnout 2, 3, Revenge, and that's it. That's all the Burnouts I have. I've
Huh.
never played any of the Burnout games.
They are all great. Like the first Burnout is kind of like you really want to play Burnout 2 or my favorite Burnout 3. But Takedown's good, Paradise is good. I mean, they're all solid. They're just like super fun arcadey racers. And they have this one mode in there called Crash Mode, which they debuted in 2, and it's essentially a small little patch of road. They have like a preset traffic patterns and whatnot, and you have to rack up points by causing the largest crash. That's it.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds insane.
Yeah, you launch your car as your weapon, and you make this big crash pile up. It's so fun.
That sounds insane.
Yeah. Oh no, trust me, it's great. There's like multipliers in the air. There's like extra like power up icons you can get to like expand out your explosion and your point score. It's so good.
All right, let's talk about Atari.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in the news lately.
Oh, good old Atari.
Is it a new game that they're coming out with an old IP? Like, is it a remaster of an old game? No. Is it is it sort of, is it publishing a game? Remember, I think they published a lot of the Dragon Ball Z games back in the day.
They did. They they published a couple of the Unreal games, I think, too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not why they're in the news. The Atari box that we keep hearing about,
Right.
that, is it out? Do we
One
know
would
anything new about it? No, that's not it either. Apparently, Atari is launching its own cryptocurrency called the Atari Token.
Wow.
Yes, I am not joking.
Wow.
This is serious. This is a serious
Why?
story. Because
who's gonna buy Atari coin or Atari token?
Well, first of all, cryptocurrency, it's going down, right? I mean, if you weren't an early adopter back in the day of Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrency, it would be hard to launch your own cryptocurrency and make it a thing. Mm-hmm. Atari Token. I don't see how that could be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, like the name is kind of, it's kitschy, whatever.
If I buy 200 shares of Atari Token, do I get a free Atari box?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, the thing of it is cryptocurrency. It seems like it's going to be the future of currency. It's it's very secure and whatnot. People are using for all like sorts of stuff. You can make money off it if you're good. But I think that's kind of a fool's errand at this point. Because you really got to watch it. You got to be like one of those day traders, and know when to sell and know when to buy. But I don't know. I mean, Disney's got their own cryptocurrency now too. So
really, I didn't know that. What's it called?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like Dragon Chain or something.
Dragon Chain.
Let me go ahead and look that up real quick. I know a friend of mine got it as a birthday gift one year.
Disney coins? No, Disney coins.
No, I don't think it's that. Disney cryptocurrency.
I mean, token. You're taking it back.
Yeah, it is.
You're taking it back.
It is.
Tokens.
It is called Dragon Chain. Yeah.
Dragon Chain.
Dragon Chain.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's the first I've ever heard about that.
Yeah, I mean it's fairly new. It's fairly new, but yeah.
All right, something that is old, and this is my fault. This is a story I should have covered a few weeks ago, and I didn't. But you know what? I'm gonna fix my mistake now.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation has PlayStation Amiibo-like figurines coming out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You were
so they have
surprised by this. I mean, it's this news has been out for a little bit.
It is, but it's so weird. I mean, they're gonna have like a Crash figurine, like a Bloodborne, Parappa the Rapper, a Little Big Planet. I understand. A Wipeout in Tekken 7.
It's gonna be a Wipeout chip. Yeah.
There's gonna be a Tekken 7 figurine.
It's gonna be happy.
Really? I mean, and again, it doesn't do anything. It's Amiibo-like figures, but they're not gonna, you can't sort of tap them on your PS4 controller and get anything for them, which is so weird.
I mean, we've had figurines for ages,
I know, but why is this a thing?
Amiibo.
I figured they would have already had this out a while ago.
The Amiibo is the outlier, right? That's the thing. The Amiibo is the thing that does all the crazy weird stuff, that like normal figurines don't. So, are you not hype? Are you not hype for any of these?
I would be hype if they did something.
What? So your Nathan Drake statue doesn't do anything.
I know, but my Mario Amiibo does something.
Yeah, it sits on yourself and looks pretty and collects dust, just like everybody else's.
No,
I
tap it to the thing. I tap it to my Switch. All right. Well, look, I'm on a GameStop website because it is a Think Geek thing, and it is already out.
Right.
So they're out. This is just weird that they have Amiibo type characters. Let me ask you a question. Now that you heard about this, but I've sort of brought it to your attention. I brought it back to the light. I've made it a feature. Are you going to actually buy it? Because they're out. They're $10 a piece. They're cheaper than Amiibo.
Yeah. I'm actually on Amazon right now looking for these. So there you go.
But no, it's a GameStop exclusive.
That's why I can't find them on there.
Yes,
I will be jumping on GameStop to get them then. These are like super cool. Well, look, I don't want to throw any more shade on Crash, so I won't. But there are two that I am not getting. That one and the Parappa the Rapper, because that game is trash.
What? Parappa the Rapper? Stop it.
I beat that game in a day.
PlayStation.
I beat that game in less than a day. I beat it in one night at my friend's house. He had the game in his like back room out on the porch. I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and play this game. We got to the end of the game in one night. Right?
That game is amazing.
3 hours.
I loved that as a kid.
No. Beyond the fact that it's super easy, I could not understand what the timing was all about. Didn't make any sense.
So you can rap and it makes sense.
Well, no, like I understand with like the remix and the whatever else, but it didn't seem right, because you'd mash on triangle at certain times and you'd get bonuses and like I don't want to go down. I don't want to necessarily talk about this that much, but I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
So I have Parappa the Rapper 1. I have 2 for the PS2. Sure. Parappa the Rapper, actually, I think another game came out only in Japan. Just like it's like Seaman. for the
Yeah,
Dreamcast.
well, it's Seaman.
Seaman. There were more Seaman games that were
Seaman.
Japan exclusive.
You have to emphasize that correctly.
Seaman.
Because if you end up going to Akihabara, you probably find a ton of Seaman games, if you know what I mean.
But they came up with PlayStation 2 that were Japanese only.
Uh-huh.
So, oh, and by the way, I finally have a microphone, a mic for the Dreamcast, so I can play the Seaman original Seaman game
Seaman.
for the Dreamcast.
Nice.
Yeah, I just thought that was so weird. I'm now that I know that they're out, I'm gonna have to go buy them all.
So then there you go. So they're just not going to be able to do anything. They just look pretty on the shelf.
This is just weird. I'm just gonna have to buy them all. And now that they don't do anything, I'm gonna have to keep them in the packaging.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right.
Keep them mint. Keep them cherry. Keep them cherry.
Our final news story is all about Dave. Dave loves Half-Life, and Dave loves Final Fantasy, and Dave loves PCs. So why don't we mix them all together? Why don't we put them in a mixer, like Martha Stewart? Mix it all together. Come up with a Final Fantasy 15 PC release.
Oh my God!
Where you can play as Half-Life's Gordon Freeman.
Well, yeah, you get his HEV suit costume for Noctis, which is badass. It's so good. It's so good. I'm glad you put the story in here. All I have to say is yes, all the time. That is the suit. If I ever get the PC version and play, that is the suit that Noctis will always wear, because you can play dress up with your characters. I do not care. He's gonna be rocking that suit like Gordon Freeman. Yeah, crazy.
As a note, this is the Final Fantasy Windows Edition. Final Fantasy Windows Edition will be launching on March 6th. So I guess this is something to get you to buy the Windows Edition and not the Steam Edition.
Oh, so it is the physical edition only, is what you're saying?
Well, not physical. I mean, it's the Windows Edition. You know, I mean, when you buy it for PC, you can buy it on Steam, you can buy it on the Windows Store, right?
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. I guess that is kind of different.
You can also buy the EA Origins service, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not too hip on my my PC platforms. The internal PC wars that are going on between Steam, Windows, and Origins.
All right.
So, all right, let's get into our convo of the week. We have the D.I.C.E Awards 2018. Okay. Now, this is award season, right? We have the Oscars, we have the Grammys, and we have D.I.C.E. This is where I think the VGAs or the Game Awards should be around. Well, it should be around early the beginning of the year and at the end of the year, because what if we have a blockbuster game coming out in December? We've talked about it in the past. If you have a blockbuster game coming out in December, it will not be nominated for Game of that year at the Video Game Awards, because it's at the end of November.
Yeah. I mean, there are some games that
out before Thanksgiving to even be nominated.
Yeah. I mean, there are good games that get launched in December, and they get shafted from the awards.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yes.
Xenoblade 2.
Good game. Great game.
So, I kind of dig this. I kind of dig the award show. I mean, we got. It's very different from the Video Game Awards, right? So, it's Greg Miller was one of the hosts, who I love. You know, I'm a big Greg Miller fan. Yeah. And he grew the evil man beard out. Funny enough.
Yeah, he did.
And Jessica Chobot from Nerdist News. She was his co-host, and they hosted last year's awards too. I thought they were very funny. I think Greg's very funny. He's very entertaining.
Chemistry together, I think they work pretty well.
I think he should be. I think they should host it again a third time next year. I thought they were great. They didn't spend too much time on stage either. I think they had just the right amount of time on stage together, right? Because this is a show that was heavy on giving praise to the developers. I mean, they had 24 awards, which is more than the Game Awards.
Right.
And to be honest, I mean, I love Jeff Keighley, right? He's more of a host. He's not funny. He doesn't have like he's not like a sense of humor type of guy. He's not an entertainer.
He's He's more of a Carson Daly than a Conan O'Brien. Is the best way I can put it.
Yeah, he's kind of dry, right? So, I mean, I love him. Again, I love him. He's a great host. He's a good interviewer. But, the Game Awards, if I had to say the Game Awards should take something from D.I.C.E, you can have sort of an entertainer sort of be the guy on stage to crack jokes and get the crowd ready for the ceremony. And Jeff Keighley could be on the side, sort of on the sideline, not on stage, but sort of on the side stage, introducing maybe new games or maybe certain interviews live, right? I don't mind that because those interviews that go live, just like the guy who made what was that co-op game, Brothers? They made Brothers. Was the other game A Way Out?
A Way Out, yeah.
That was kind of a weird interview, right? But I thought it was weird in a good way. Like I was just like, wow, like Jeff Keighley just like he looks so awkward. He's just like, yeah, okay.
And the guy just kept going too. He's like, I think we got to get back to this award show that we got going on back here.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
So I think that's what I think that's what the Game Awards can take from the D.I.C.E Awards, right? Like be more about the presenter and be more about the awards, because a lot of the awards we didn't even know got. We didn't even know a lot of they did a lot of the awards sort of in the pre-show and a lot of awards sort of during the commercial break, and we didn't even know about it. At D.I.C.E, they sort of hit you like 4 or 5 awards at a time, right? Like without a presenter. It was just like, hey, best mobile game.
Yep.
So they just hit you 1, 2, 3. So I thought and again, the D.I.C.E Awards is more of an intimate thing. It's not like a auditorium. It's more of like a dinner, right? People are sitting down, dining, eating. So let's get into some of the winners, though. They had 24 awards. That's crazy. That's a lot of awards. Cuphead took home a lot. They took home outstanding achievement in animation, outstanding achievement in art direction, outstanding achievement in original music composition. They took home a lot of awards. Super Mario Odyssey, I got to be honest, I felt bad for Super Mario Odyssey because I honestly
got shafted by Legend of Zelda.
It got, yes, and I think if Super Mario Odyssey came out this year, it would win a lot of those awards, but it just got shadowed by its older brother, right, or younger brother, I should say. It actually won outstanding achievement in sound design.
Right, which is funny.
You disagree with. You disagree with.
It's not that it has bad sound design. It does have very good sound design, but I think Zelda, and I've talked about this at length. Zelda uses sound very appropriately. It's very deliberate when they have sound in the game, because most of the game is quiet. There's no soundtrack behind the game and all that. Like Mario, every damn level has a music track behind it, and it's beautiful and the music's great and all that. But when you hear music in Zelda, it means something. You've come into a battle and they crank it up, or you come into a town where it's peaceful and there's no monsters, and the music kicks in to let you know it's safe. It's like small little stuff like that, which is huge. So. That was the only game. That was the only award win that I was like, I would have given it to Zelda in that case. But
you had Zelda clean up at the awards.
Yeah, well, I love that game. It's great. It's my favorite Zelda game. Sorry, OG Zelda, take a back seat. You are now number 2. One thing I will say, I was fine on the winners and whatnot. I thought it was handled really well, and I think everything you said kind of rings true. The one thing that I noticed, especially right off the bat, they had some early production problems, right? Did you notice that too?
I did not notice that. What specifically are you talking about?
There were some sound cues that cut out and whatnot, and it was a lot of sound problems. I think mostly I noticed.
Some
mic issues, whatnot.
That I noticed, but I thought sort of weren't that big of a deal.
Well, I mean, it wasn't just
they
that.
They didn't really ruin they didn't take me out of the show.
Oh no! But it wasn't just that. I mean, it was that on top of the whole set design and just the overall production value. You compare that to the Game Awards, put those side by side. Like, the Game Awards really came with it. Like, the Game Awards, in my opinion, I thought looked like a Emmy or Grammy production. Like they really kind of went all out with it.
Well, the Game Awards are more that big spectacular award show, like the
Sure.
Emmys or
Sure.
the Grammys,
Mhm.
where DICE is more of like a Tony Award.
Sure. I mean, I definitely do have to appreciate their kind of whole kaleidoscope aesthetic or motif or whatever, right? They had that studio put together these things, and it'd be the gameplay footage, but be in like a kaleidoscope fashion, right? So you'd see like 4 or 6 different images like going in on each other and like spinning around, and like that was kind of neat. So I kind of give them props on that. But I mean,
then,
would you say it's a better show or of the two of the Game Awards 2017 and the new DICE Awards? Which one gives which one do you give the thumbs up?
I mean, I like the big grand, like how they make the video game awards sort of like a big thing, like a larger than life thing. I like how they try to make it that way, but I like the substance of the DICE Awards. Like, I think, they got. I like the presenters better at the DICE Awards because they sort of had like actual developers.
Sure.
Do a lot of the presenting. Right. And I like having hosts who are entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I like Jeff Keighley for the pre-show and the after show and maybe some of the on-show interviews, but not as a host.
Mm-hmm.
He's sort of generic and bland to me, where he's not entertaining. Where I think a show like that I would think a show like the DICE Awards would have a Jeff Keighley being the host.
It'd be the flip. Yeah.
Where you would have, maybe Jessica Chobot and Greg Miller hosting the video game awards, because it's more of a bigger than life type of an event, a big event where where you have fans, developers, all in the audience, the creators in the audience. Sort of with the DICE Awards is sort of invite only, right? You don't have fans in the audience. It's more of a sit down dinner. It's more like it's more like the Emmys, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Emmys or Tonys. It's not an Oscars or Grammys type of award show.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
They're different. So it's not that I like one more than another. I just like elements of one over the other in different categories. I think they both should be around because you have acting awards and you have several different acting awards, several different music awards.
Right.
So you obviously have several different video game awards, as there should be.
Mm-hmm.
I think Greg Miller and Jessica Chobot, there should be more entertaining host for the video game awards.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you on that.
But let's get back to the awards itself. Again, the substance is what I really like.
Right.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe won Racing Game of the Year, which was surprising to me because that's not really a new game. That is an old game repackaged.
Yeah, you were having some trouble with that. I mean, the game.
And again,
is
I
fantastic.
love remastered games. I just don't think remastered games should be up for awards because it's not a new iteration of a game. It's just the same game with some new that's sort of tweaked, right? It has something new, but it's not a brand new game,
right?
If Mario 8 would have won Best Racing Game of the Year when it came out, then I would have been fine with that. But not Mario 8 Deluxe. But whatever,
Right.
Still a great game. We both loved it.
Well, like here's the thing, right? So I don't think Wipeout Omega Collection was a nominee, right? It was it was one of the Dirt games, I think. It was the new Gran Turismo game, Sport, and a couple other games, right? So
Forza.
You wouldn't.
Don't forget about Forza.
Well, Forza 2, yeah, Forza 8, right? Or 7? Forza 7. Sure. Quality. Would you throw like Wipeout in that mix too? Or like does that
Well, I mean, now that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is in it, why not Wipeout?
I would agree.
The only thing that was different about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the battle mode, really.
Exactly. Oh, battle mode and a couple new racers. The
Yeah,
Animal
well, the
Crossing guys
Inklings,
that are
yeah.
split. Oh, the Inkling. Yeah, the Inkling kids.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Which, by the way, take us back to our early discussion of the news. They need to be in the Smash Brothers game too.
Yeah. Yeah, most
Just with
definitely.
just with a couple of Arms characters, which is
Most
your new
definitely.
IP that you want to
Oh
promote as
God, yeah,
well going
definitely the
forward.
Arms characters, right? Springman,
Springman is the
Springman's gonna
face
make
of
an
the
appearance.
franchise, so he should be in Smash Brothers, and he
Most
would be a
definitely.
great addition to Smash Brothers too, especially if you
Hmm.
put an Arms sort of background level in there.
Oh
That would be
God,
great.
yeah. Now you're getting me hype. Now you're getting me hype.
And we could play online too, because it would be the launch of the Nintendo Online.
Right.
um, I don't know. Listen, hey, it is what it is. They did, it won. Nintendo cleaned house.
Yeah. Yeah.
The best RPG, Near Automata,
Mm-hmm.
that won that. FIFA won FIFA 18 won best sports game.
I would agree.
You love Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, that
Yep.
best strategy simulation game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Now that PUBG is officially out, it's out of early access. It won outstanding achievement in online gameplay.
Well, that's very interesting because when PUBG came out and the end of the year rolled around, it was still in beta, right?
It was. It was.
Were they judging it for the game at that time, or were they judging it for what the game is now because it kept getting patched and upgraded and upgraded and patched?
That's a good question.
Right?
Well, you know what?
You know,
Out of all the games that are online play,
mm-hmm.
I would give it to that too.
Mm-hmm.
I was against it being the best game of the year because it wasn't officially out. It was sort of in beta, but it officially was released in December.
Mm-hmm.
Like at an official, like it's out of beta. It is the official game. This is the game.
Right.
So I was okay with that. Your favorite game, your favorite mobile game, portable game, Metroid Samus Returns, best handheld game of the year.
Of course, as it should.
As it should. Best mobile game, Fire Emblem Heroes.
Although that game is also a remake deluxe version, maybe you could make that argument, kind of. I mean, kind of not really, but
kind of. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
A little bit.
It's more of a new game than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the newest thing about that game is the DX added to the end.
Yes. Mobile games, back to mobile games, Fire Emblem Heroes. Won best mobile game.
Right.
It's made the most money for Nintendo out of all the other mobile games because of the microtransactions, and that's the way mobile games are. Right, it's free, and then you pay as you go.
Right.
And then Zelda won. Zelda cleaned up. It won Game of the Year, outstanding achievement in game direction, outstanding achievement in game design. Zelda just sort of cleaned house.
Yep.
With all the major titles. But I saved the best for last because Zelda being Game of the Year isn't something that was a surprise. The best fighting game of the year, baby, Injustice 2 over Tekken 7.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Over
Marvel vs. Capcom. I love Injustice 2.
Over Marvel vs. Capcom, over Tekken,
I don't think that was a surprise over Marvel vs. Capcom, really. I'm surprised it was even nominated.
It's solid mechanically. It's got solid mechanics. Just the graphics need a good coat of paint on there.
Overall. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
maybe they'll make a DX version this year. Because it is the year of remakes. And
totally forgot. Outstanding achievement in story and outstanding technical achievement, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
And a game that I have not played yet because there is no physical version. Hellblade won outstanding achievement in character.
Yeah. It's a game is very deep, goes through a lot of psychological stuff and whatnot, mental states and all that. So it's supposed to be a very good game.
But who stole the show at the D.I.C.E Awards was the day before the actual award ceremony. It was Phil Spencer.
Yep.
And he gave a 45-minute speech. And he stole the show. Listen, I know we go back and forth, being Xbox fanboys and PlayStation fanboys, but we both own all consoles.
Yep.
That just, we both own Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Phil, I think out of everybody, out of all the faces of the companies, Phil is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think he gets me hyped to be a video game fan, just like Awada was formerly, rest in peace, was my favorite person of, ahead of a studio, like ahead of head of the big three.
Right.
Phil has now he's now taken that spot. I love Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer's great. Phil Spencer
And he had
is great.
And he had a great 45-minute speech.
Mm-hmm.
It touched me. I mean, about bringing diversity into games, not just the actual game being diverse, but behind the scenes being diverse as far as minorities and women, and how when he took over as the head of Xbox, because obviously they had a horrible Xbox One launch, right?
It was a little weak. Yeah, it was a little weak, and they definitely struggled a little bit. This is definitely this console generation goes to Sony. Definitely. I mean,
Well, by all accounts, unofficially, it's Sony has sold over 70 million units, and Xbox has sold about 36 million.
Right.
Which is still more than the previous generation. So let me just get that out the way.
Still more than the Wii U. So there you go.
Double, triple the Wii U.
Yeah.
But the Xbox One X, by all accounts, has sold more than the PS4 Pro.
Or the PS Pro. Right.
Yeah, but for good reason. But he just talked about, I just love the speech about diversity and how things should change behind the scenes and how we have to change our philosophy and how gaming is becoming more global. And in the next, 5 years, there'll be 2 billion people playing games, right? Which is a lot of people. Now, especially now that China has opened up to video games, right?
Right.
And he talked about how he had to help change the culture at Microsoft. Right. And I thought that was like a great speech, because he said, when he first took over Microsoft, people didn't trust management, right? Because they weren't listening to what the gamers wanted. And he sort of, to gain their trust, he sort of told them something that was supposed to be confidential, right? There was something news that they didn't want leaked for a few months.
Right.
And he told his Xbox team, which was over 100 people, and news did not leak at all. And people, I can understand how he's a leader. Like I would follow him in battle, right? Like he just seems like someone you would want to be the head of your company, to lead you into, to be the leader into sort of making games, making a console, just a whole console generation. He's made strides. He's listened to gamers and given above and beyond what I thought Xbox would do.
Mm-hmm. It seems like he's trying to do right. This a lot of this stuff comes off the heels of Microsoft saying that we care about the multiplayer experience more so than the single player experience, which a lot of fans got up in arms about. So, I mean, that wasn't great. And, not a lot of exclusive games in the system. There's just kind of a lot of missteps that Microsoft took, when the system was being revealed and they had all those different we're gonna be monitoring all your stuff via the camera, and we'll know how many people were in the room, and they kind of tried to spin that in a cool way, and they're like, no, we don't want this at all. Or the fact that games would be locked down to that particular system and whatnot. So he had to kind of come back from all that and kind of bring the company back to good standing, like look, we're here for the fans, And I think his speech last night did that. One thing that he said that I thought was pretty good, and you kind of pointed out this one thing where he said the pixel was mightier than the pen, right? And that kind of stood out a lot. And at first I was like, well, what are you devaluing the writing of the game, because that's very key. But I think like his point was, world building in video games is very important, all the little details that go into creating the world and, down to the different types of clothing that people wear, right? Down to the way you model the hair or the way the lighting effects work, right? And even just like the game mechanics in the game, like all that should work and it should work well. It should bring you into the game world and not take you out of it via, sloppy programming, So I thought that was really cool. That was like kind of a high point. And he seemed real genuine, right? I mean, I think you kind of felt that too, right?
No, he was super genuine. My only issue with his speech is he was very glossy.
What do you mean?
Maybe
maybe
that was the lights flashing down, making him
oh,
sweat.
that kind of glossy.
He was very very glossy.
He was a little shiny. Yeah, he had a little shine on him.
Yeah, he was very shiny. Yes.
I think again, going back to the production value, I think that was a little bit of an oversight.
He was very shiny.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But good speech overall.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I agree. It made me feel good as a gamer, to hear that speech. That about wraps it up for episode 107. We just want to thank you guys for sticking around with us and, being good fans, listening to the episode and, getting involved in the community and whatnot. It's fantastic. If you guys want to reach out to us, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. If you guys like comedy, check out Chris Buck on Twitter, my cousin, at Stop Her Buck. He's a very funny fella. And if you're in the Jacksonville, Florida area, he does comedy down there. So take a look, check him out. Good stuff. So please like, listen, subscribe, and as always,
keep gaming.